Hi everyone. So, as I said, I am going to do a series on postpartum stuff, kind of just like overall postpartum, and then I'm gonna really dive into like postpartum depression and stuff like that because it's something that I've really struggled with, and I figured this first part would just be easier if I did a video. So this is what we're doing. Ta! um, so. I wanted to start this video out by giving a disclaimer that I'm going to talk about some hard stuff. Um, if it's something that you struggle with or that you're not sure you're going to be able to handle, please don't um, feel like you have to listen to this post to read it because I'm going to put some other content like typed out and stuff. So if you're afraid that this is going to affect you in a negative way, please, 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 please do not listen to this. I don't want someone to be affected negatively by what I'm posting. This is just me posting my feelings and posting them in a way that other people realize that you're not alone in what you're going through. That's all this is. This isn't this isn't like an oh woe is me, like my life is so hard kind of thing. Like that's not what this is. I just felt in my heart that I needed to get out what I've been feeling out, and this is the way that I chose to do it because I wish I would have seen videos and content like this when I was going through it because of how alone I felt. Um, so now that I've got that part out of the way, I'm just going to do an overview of postpartum stuff. It's mostly going to be like postpartum depression and symptoms and stuff like that. I'm just going to do an overview of like what that looks like and what it looked like for me. So to start, there's something called baby blues. Baby blues and postpartum depression are two separate things. They are not the same thing because I struggled so long and so hard because I thought I was going through baby blues. And when I finally was like, what I'm going through isn't healthy. What I'm feeling isn't good. And I talked to my OB about it, like my midwife, and she was like, yeah, those aren't baby blues. You're going through the postpartum depression and stuff. So I have an article kind of on the side of my computer while I'm recording that I'm going to be referring to from Mayo Clinic. If I'm going to also link this in the description so you guys have it if you guys want to kind of dive into the article a little bit more. It was the one that I related to the most and that made um, this kind of information make the most sense. Plus, I knew it's it's a credited source. Like I know it's not just someone being like, oh yeah, this is what that is, without being like a doctor or whatever. So I know that this is credible information. Okay. Anyway, so baby blues are something every new mom, no matter how many kids you have, are going to go through. They are symptoms, according to the website, that should only last a couple days to 2 weeks at most. And they have things like feelings of like, different mood swings. So you could be happy one minute and sad the next, or you could be crying sad tears and then really angry and frustrated the next. You can go through anxiety, sadness. You can be like the slightest thing can make you mad. The feelings of overwhelmed, uncontrollable crying, like you just cry for no reason. You're not able to concentrate. You have appetite problems, which mean you're either eating too much or eating too little. And it can be really hard for you to go to sleep, or you could be tired all the time, no matter how much sleep you get. So, those are baby blues symptoms. Like I said, every new mom, no matter how many kids you have, is going to go through this. It's just like your hormones are after the birth are like out of control. And I'm sure all of you moms know that like this is a thing. Like, yes, ma'am. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry. If I keep looking off to the side, it's because I have my daughter's monitor right here and she's taking a nap. And I'm kind of like, what's going on every time she moves? Anyway, so just so you know. Um, so yeah, baby blues are something that you're going to go through. Um, it's not fun. I I don't like it. I don't think anyone likes going through that list of things, but whatever. Um, So baby blues and postpartum depression are totally separate. Every mom goes through baby blues, but not every mom is going to go through postpartum depression. So if you want to try to distinguish the two, the best advice I can give you, go to your doctor. Because if you're like, I'm pretty sure this is just baby blues, but I need you, like, I wish I would have done this sooner, but please, if you are not sure if what you are feeling is baby blues, please ask your doctor and be like, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, what the heck is going on? And they will tell you, oh, that's just baby blues, it should be fine. Like, you're in the first couple weeks of being a new mom, like, that's totally normal. Like, my, other than my friends and family, my doctor has been like my rock. Because, like, without her, I would probably still be struggling. I still struggle from day to day, but anyway, we'll get there. So, the difference between postpartum depression and the baby blues is postpartum has more symptoms, like the depression has more symptoms. So instead of just like some mood swings, you would have severe mood swings. I'm talking about you can go from 0 to 60 in like 1.1 seconds. There's crying with baby blues, but postpartum depression crying is like every second of the day you are just bawling. You're having difficulty bonding with your baby. Like this bundle of joy that you're supposed to be so in awe of and so in love with, you're just like, no, no thanks. Like, you can be very withdrawn, so like not wanting to engage with your friends or your family, not wanting to talk about it, especially, um, a loss of, so with baby blues, you could have either an increase of appetite or a decrease in appetite. With postpartum depression, it is you don't have an appetite at all or very little. What else? I'm looking through the list, because some of this stuff is like, whatever. Um. Oh, you can be really angry. Um. Okay, so I'm gonna get really personal. Like I said, if this is going to trigger you in some way, please, 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 please stop right here because I'm going to get very personal. I'm going to start getting very personal. Disclaimer, I also want to throw out both me and my child are fine. No harm has come to either one of us. We're both healthy and happy, but we had a rough first 4 months. So I just want to throw that out there. Um, if my baby would have ever been in danger, I would have given her to someone. Okay? Like, as much as sometimes my baby makes me mad and overwhelmed, I would never put my child in harm. I want that out there right now. Okay. So, the postpartum, um, probably symptom I had the most was anger. I already have anger issues that I have learned to deal with because of going to therapy when I was a child and into my teen years. Anyway, I I thought I could keep my anger under control with all of the hormones that I was feeling, plus some like body image issues I was going through, and then throwing this baby at me. Basically, it felt like someone threw a baby at me. Someone told me this, and I think it is the best way to describe how I was feeling. Someone told me that a comedian they listened to one time said that parenting is like you're drowning, except someone throws a baby at you. So not only are you drowning and trying to stay afloat, you're also trying not to drown, trying to stay afloat while keeping this child um, that you have. Sorry, this child that someone just threw you up from drowning too. So that's pretty much what I was feeling. Okay. Um, her crying for whatever reason when she would cry would throw me into overdrive. it was like her crying activated a side of me that I have never seen. I would be okay for a little bit, like maybe a couple minutes, or depending on how I was that day or how much sleep or whatever I got. But it was like her crying is what it just like activated something in me that was like "Ah!" I would get so mad at her. I would be screaming, and I would be yelling, and I would be swearing at her and calling and saying all these terrible things. And then when I would finally get her to calm down, I would just bawl, like hard cry, like that type of crying. And another thing that came along with all of that is I'm a very physical person. I love hugs, and I love to be like right next to you almost, and like you're like, that personal space thing. Like personal space to me isn't a thing. Like if we're really, really close friends, that like I basically just want to be like up against your cheek. Like it's I'm a lot to handle, I know, I'm sorry. But I when I would get like that, I hated her touching me. It was like I was too overstimulated by that point, that like I didn't want to be touched by my husband. I didn't want to be touched by her. I didn't want to be touched by anyone. I wanted to be left alone. And it's like I couldn't get away because I put all I I didn't let anyone help me because I didn't think that as a mom I should need help. I thought that I should be the one to take care of my child. I should be the one to be able to clean the house and do all of this other stuff, and I should be fine. And everything should and I should be in love with my baby. And to be completely honest, I wasn't. Like, I'm okay to admit now that when I brought my daughter home, I thought she was the cutest little thing ever, but I was not in love with her. I didn't have that instant like, "Oh my gosh, this is my pride and joy, my heart, my world. I love her so much." Like, I do love my daughter, and she is my world and my life, and I would use myself as a human shield to keep her from danger. But I did not feel that way when I first brought her home. I did not bond with her. It kind of makes me really emotional. I did not bond with her the way that I should have, and I thought that made me a total failure and a piece of crap mom. Holy crap, I did not want to cry on this video. I'm sorry. I went through so many emotions at one time, and people were like, "Well, how are you doing?" And I would be like, "Well, I'm okay. I'm fine. We're okay." But I didn't know that it was okay to feel stressed. And sorry, I glanced over at the Mayo Clinic thing, and I saw a feeling of hopelessness, and that is exactly how I felt. Oh, I did not want to cry. I didn't want to feel hopeless because I thought that I'm a mom. I have never, like, looking to my mom, I had never seen my mom be the way that I am with my daughter. And I thought, because my mom is such a role model to me, that I was a failure. I wasn't doing what I needed to do as a mom. And I felt like I was drowning. Like, I didn't. Everyone's like, hey, if you ever need a break, if you ever need time, let me know. I'll take her. But, like, even like now that me and my daughter are good and I'm better, I'm still kind of like, I need time away. But I'm also kind of like, so as you can see, someone woke up from her nap. So that's so that'll be how we're gonna finish the video, I guess. So I'm trying to remember where I was. The last thing I remember was hopelessness. So that's where we're gonna kinda keep it. um so yeah, I having my mom as a role model, and I didn't see her struggling the way that I was. it was just really upsetting, it it made me feel really alone, especially like if like being a first time mom with just the one kid as I did. I literally look everything up. Okay, I flip through all the books I have. I I ask advice from so many people, and I scour the internet for stuff. So like an example is like what her sleep schedule was supposed to be like at 4 months, because I knew that she was going to be not wanting to sleep as long because she's no longer a newborn. And that's totally fine. She doesn't need to sleep as long. Like just now, she just took a 45-minute nap when she used to take an hour and a half nap. Like, it's fine that she doesn't want to sleep that long, but I would look stuff up. I even looked up like people's routines with their kids and stuff, and like their morning routines, and it was like, oh, the child would wake up just oh so happy, and the parents would be loving life, and they would get all this stuff done in the morning. They would put her down for a nap, and then they'd get all this stuff done, and life is great, and all cupcakes and rainbows and beautiful. And I'm like, what the heck? Why doesn't my life look like that? Like, why is my life in turmoil? Like, she wakes up like she's being murdered, for one, by the way. She wakes up and she doesn't just no, she just rah, rah, especially if I'm not around. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. She wakes up like a bat out of hell, guys. Like, I can't even tell you. If I wake her up, she's okay. Like, if I'm like, hey honey, it's time to get up from your nap, like wakey wake, it's fine. But no, she wakes herself up. Lord have mercy. But like, I wasn't seeing like what my life looked like compared to what those people look like, and it made me feel even worse. And I just started going down this spiral of being like, my life is awful and I hate everyone and everything, and this is not what I want my life to be. And I got to the point where, like, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest, I wanted to kill myself. I sometimes I'll joke around my husband, especially if I didn't get a good enough sleep the night before. I'll like in the morning, I'll be like, I'm gonna throw myself in front of a bus. Like, you take care of her. I'm gonna go back out into the road and I'll be fine. Like, I understand that's not something I should joke about, but like, I've never been serious until she was like maybe 2.5 going into 3, where I was like, I swear to God, if you don't help me, or if someone doesn't help me, or if I don't get enough sleep, I swear to God, I'm gonna leap from our 3rd-story window and just kill myself, or I'm gonna grab my husband's handgun and shoot myself in the head one night, and he's gonna come home and I'm gonna be dead and she's probably gonna be crying. Like, I just couldn't take it. And I understand how I'm being very blunt, but I'm trying to be really real, and so people can understand like what you're feeling and what you're going through. Oh my gosh, you're not alone. I promise to God. Like, I wish someone would have talked about what I like, the way that I'm talking about it. That way I didn't feel like this. That way I didn't feel so isolated and alone. And I understand some of this can be very upsetting, especially to my family and friends, but like, I need to talk about it. I no longer have those thoughts. I mean, there are days where I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm like, holy crap, I just want to sleep. But I have never, ever wanted to kill. I don't have those thoughts of self-harm as seriously as I did. There are a couple days where I'm like, I wish I was dead. But that's because I feel dead. So, yeah, I know, it's okay. It's not your fault. I mean, it is your fault, but it's not. Anyway, so yeah, we're so much more better now that we've talked to the doctor, and they've gotten me on some medication, which isn't something I wanted to do, but like, nothing else was working. So I had to, and that's what works for me. Not everyone needs to go that way. I know some friends that were put on some herbal remedies, and that really helped them. Or another friend of mine, um she started exercising. Like, she does it once a day, and it's kind of her time by herself, and that's what works for her. And that's awesome. Like, what works for you might not work for somebody else. So the medication that I'm on may not be needed or may not work for someone else. And whatever works for you, good. But you need to know that what you're going through, you're not alone. This is why I started this community. I wanted to be real. I wanted to lay out every struggle that I've gone through. And I'm going to go more in depth on stuff, and that may be upsetting to some of you, and that's okay. Please feel free to reach out to me privately through the group messenger, through comments, through posts on the page. Like, I am totally open to talk about whatever. I am an open book. I'm not going to hide what I've been going through anymore. I'm just sick and tired of the world thinking being a mom is great, and if if you're a strong mom, this is what that should look like. No. If you're a strong mom, you are able to take care of your kids, take care of your house, and go to school, go to work, and still understand and hang on, go back. Being a strong mom is different for everybody else, okay? My being a strong mom may look differently from what my best friend being a strong mom looks like. For someone, it could be going to work and taking their kids to ballet recitals or sports games and being able to cook. Where some, it could be a stay-at-home mom doing everything under the sun except working. Where for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom right now, going to school, trying to get my degree so I can work, and taking care of her in my house is the best of my ability. That is me being a strong mom. And a strong mom shouldn't be what everyone keeps idolizing. Like, where this strong woman never complains about anything, and she has the most perfect life. Like, that's not realistic, and that's stupid. And I'm sorry, but it just makes me mad. You took your binky out. Are you gonna start crying? Don't cry. Anyway, I just want to be an encouragement to others through the life that I've lived, because I'm sick of not my terrible posture. Sorry. I'm just tired of feeling like I'm alone all the time and not having and wishing I had the support of something like this that I could have looked to and been like, "Oh, okay, so that's normal," or "Oh, okay, that's what that is." That's what I wish I would have had. And that's what this is for. And that's what this series is going to be about. So just be ready for that. I'm going to be very real and open. Again, if this is something that's going to be very dramatic for you, please don't feel like you have to watch or listen, okay? Okay. I love you all. Have a good day. You guys are great.